We're back on Central Valley Talk. I'm Mike Scott. Thank you for tuning in today. We do appreciate it. We're being seen around the world on centralvalleytalk.com. Thank you for tuning in today. Daniel Van Staaveren, my next guest. He's our local real estate agent with Keller Williams. They're up by Palm and Herndon. Daniel, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having me on.
You're looking for new listings, new clients, new business.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I'm here, to kind of get my name out there a little bit more and talk a little bit about real estate and why I'm into it.
All right, there's 1,000 agents out there. Why should I consider you?
Well, I consider myself the casual real estate agent. So, I may
no suit and tie on
no
this
suit and tie,
guy.
no. And people wonder why are you so casual and stuff like that. And it's kind of like I use an analogy as a duck on the water. The duck's sitting on the water. He looks casual. He's cruising along nicely, but underneath, boy, he's paddling like crazy. So and I go above and beyond. I had a client that wanted a property in a certain area and location. There weren't any houses listed there. So I went door to door, knocking on doors, trying to find a house somebody wanted to sell their house for them.
Did you?
Yeah.
Finally, you found one?
But no, we never found any.
But you tried.
But I tried, and we ended up finding a house one block over from where they were originally looking, on the other side of a major cross street. So they were still in the same area, but it wasn't in the exact little circle that she had given me. But that's, you can't have everything sometimes.
I wonder how many agents would have gone out of the way like that for a client.
I like to think I'm special that way. My clients are they're somebody they're important to me, and I want to make sure they get exactly what they're looking for as opposed to, something that's close to what they're looking for.
Right. How would you rate the market right now?
Right now, the market's pretty strong. We have about 2.5 months worth of inventory on the market. As a seller, you're doing really well because the prices are kind of holding and going up a little bit. Interest rates are still really good for buyers. So, you're still able to get a really nice interest rate. As interest rates creep up, then obviously there's it makes it a little more difficult on the buyers to buy homes. But, it's a great time just in general because of the low interest rates and, people are putting some nice houses on the market.
We talked about this yesterday. There was a story on USA Today about existing home sales have surged the past few months. And I think they had the best quarter since 2007 or something like that. But the agent we had on yesterday said that didn't necessarily translate to the Central Valley, that he didn't think sales were that strong here. Those were national numbers.
Well, I know here in Fresno County, we're up about 4% from last year at this time. So, the market is going up. We're selling, they are selling more. It's not the boom back before the bubble burst, where houses were getting, more than market value and what have you, and the prices were just going up leaps and bounds. People that are listing houses are seeing multiple offers on their homes, which is really nice for the sellers. So.
And so that means that some homes are selling above the asking price?
Sometimes, yeah.
With multiple offers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you like that as an agent?
That's a wonderful thing. Your client, the sellers are real happy with their getting more than what they asked for, and buyers are obviously happy with the house. Otherwise, they wouldn't put an offer in on it.
Which do you prefer? Would you rather represent the buyer or the seller?
I think I'd rather represent the buyer. I know the excitement I had when my wife and I bought our house. And, it's an emotional roller coaster because there's always ups and downs with the buying process. But, the end result, the excitement they have when they get their key and they get to walk in the house for the first time saying, yeah, this is ours, is just it's an amazing feeling. And it reminds me every time when I do sell a house, it reminds me every time how excited I was when I bought mine, and it re-energizes me to help my next clients find their house. So I find that really exciting.
You know what I remember about the first house I bought? All the paperwork I had to sign.
Yeah.
Page after page after page.
There's a lot of paperwork.
The disclosures and
I like to call that all the legalese.
The legalese, yeah. But it has to be done, right?
Right. Well, and there's a reason for all of that because somewhere along the line somebody sued somebody else for something, and so now it's a major covering and making sure everything's on the up and up, and you're not selling a house that's not yours, and and there's no liens on it in the background.
So how do you make sure, if you're selling a house, how do you make sure that the buyer has told you everything that you need to know to sell that legally? That they're not hiding anything?
Well, there's a lot of there's title companies that do title checks on it. So you use your title companies to do the backgrounds on that and cover a lot of making sure that there's no liens and all of that kind of thing. And there's a lot of there's websites as an agent that we have access to where you can do go back and look at titles and who is sold, and how you can see kind of where they are and what they owe, and you hope that your clients aren't straight out lying to you, because what they're going to end up doing is opening themselves up to a lawsuit, and you do the best you can to make sure that they're, on the up and up. And, most agents, the ones I've dealt with, have been very, they're up front, hey, this is what's going on, with their houses, and when you call them and ask questions about it.
There was a story on the evening news the other night. It was out of Florida, and it was a house that was sitting on a sinkhole. The original owners had filed a claim with their insurance company and were paid like $150,000. They were supposed to use that money to fix up the sinkhole. They didn't. They just took the $150,000, put the home on the market, sold it, didn't tell the new owners, and now the new owners just discovered the sinkhole. And of course, it's a legal mess. They're all in court. You want to avoid that.
Exactly.
At all costs.
Yeah, and I tell my clients that, you need to let me know these things, otherwise, it's going to be a huge...
It'll come back to bite you sooner or later.
And then that's just one of those things that you don't want to have to deal with.
All right. If you're looking for a real estate agent who doesn't wear a suit and tie, this is your guy. Daniel Van Staaveren. How can folks reach you at Keller Williams?
They can call me or text me at 288-1390. You can get me on my website at vanstav.kwrealty.com.
Van Stav.
Yeah, just a shortening of my last name.
V-A-N...
S-T-A-A-V.
A-A-double-A.
Yes.
S-T-A-A-V at
kwrealty.com.
kwrealty.com. Okay. Daniel, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
And we'll be back with more on Central Valley Talk.